Hey guys, how's it going? So as you can see from the title, my brother's bought a BMW 130i. So as you can see, it is in fantastic condition. Now this isn't any ordinary BMW 1 Series. This is, as you can see from the badge, a 130i. Now this car is fitted with the legendary N52 BMW straight six engine, and it sounds absolutely brilliant. We'll get a quick exhaust acceleration clip as we go for a drive in a second, but yeah, it just looks absolutely fantastic in the white as well. So we'll just jump inside and I'll just show you inside. So you can see great shape in here. I'll just get in actually, and so obviously going to bring my brother in and we're going to talk a bit more about it out on the road. So we're in the car now, so come back, Chris. Does sound good, that, doesn't it?
Yes, very good.
Sound very good. So as I mentioned, we may as well get straight to it, the performance side of things. So yeah, talk us through it.
It's well, it's certainly an upgrade on the Lupo, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3 litre straight six in this car, I mean, it's been fitted to a lot of various different BMWs over the years, but obviously because this is the smallest car in the range, you get the more performance out of it than you would in, say, 330i or 530i. So I mean, the engine just completely dominates everything with the car because it sounds fantastic. It gives you a great blend of torque and power, pulls all the way to the red line, but then if you just want to potter about, you never really need to go above 2,500 revs. Fuel economy, obviously, as you can imagine, that's taken a bit of a hit, but it's not as bad as you might expect. I mean, we actually picked this car up from down near Southampton, and on the way back it did 33 miles to the gallon. I've just used it in a mixed driving all this week, and I'm averaging about 26.5, so from that perspective obviously it is slightly less than the Lupo, but the Lupo probably did about 33 as an average, so it's not a great deal of difference. And at the end of the day, you don't buy this car for the fuel economy, you buy it for the engine, the experience of driving a rear-wheel drive straight six car. It's my first rear-wheel drive car that I've owned, so that also does take a bit of getting used to as well. But yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic so far, and immediately, as soon as you drive this car, you can see why the straight six is so well thought of by BMW fans, yeah, and petrolers in general. I think it's often noted as one of the best engines BMW ever made. Reliability wise, there's very little goes wrong with them.
The bulletproof.
They can run for well over 150,000 miles and without a single issue. And this one's only done 47,000, so it's very low mileage when you consider most of the other 130s which is on the market. Most of them have done sort of 80,000-90,000 miles, so I was quite lucky to find this one. It's only had a few owners, and the lady who owned it before me just did mainly short trips around town, yeah. So she was only doing about 3,000 miles a year. So in that sense, it's been very lightly used throughout its life, really. So hence the low mileage. In terms of spec, it's got nearly everything I wanted. The only thing it hasn't got is xenon headlights. Now, you may remember in Dan's videos before, he's talked about how fantastic the lights were in the Lupo, and in this one they aren't obviously as good. Yeah. But it's got everything else that I'd wanted, really. It's got cruise control, it's got Bluetooth, heated seats. I wasn't too bothered about sat-nav because it's an old system obviously in these cars. This car is 11 years old now, so obviously it's an old system, so I wasn't too bothered about sat-nav. But all the other spec, aside from the headlights, it's great. And also, because these cars are rare now, particularly with this kind of mileage on, you can't be too fussy about spec. You have to just go with condition. And again, you can't be too fussy about colour because white would not have been my preferred choice, if I'm honest.
But like you say, it is people. He has bought another rare car, really, but you didn't really know, did you?
I mean, I found out after I bought the car that in actual fact, white 3-doors are exceptionally rare.
Obviously 130s.
Very rare. Yeah, white 3-door 130Rs are very exceptionally rare. So, unbeknown to me, I actually bought another rare car. Although, to be fair, the 130 in general, you know, they didn't sell a great deal when they were new, because they were quite expensive.
Yeah, what would this have been new?
And it would have been about 31,000, which in 2007 for a car of this type or size is expensive.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could get a new M135 for that now, and we're talking 11 years later.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah.
It was really expensive.
Yeah.
But so I have unwittingly bought another rare car.
You didn't know.
So.
Now, obviously, noticing my little video I did before, it's manual as well. Obviously.
I had to go for manual gearbox.
Because you don't like automatics, yeah.
Not a big fan of autos, and also the automatic in this particular car, they aren't sort of the level of sophistication that you get nowadays.
No.
It was pretty much a conventional torque converter with paddles on the wheel, but in terms of shift speeds, it's nowhere near what you'd expect from a newer sort of M135 model. No. So the manual, it had to be the manual option. And again, that restricted me to, when I was looking to buy one, how many were out there that were appealed to me, you know. So that was another thing which, you know, I mean, it's not, these cars aren't very similar to the Lupo. In fact, you can't just go down to your local dealer and buy one. You have to look for a while, and you might find that you could be talking, you know, 2 months before you even go and look at one which is suitable.
You bought this car in January. You know,
I had been looking since before Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, and it just so happened that this one came for sale. And again, the distance, it was a long way to travel, but you know, you have to travel
cars, yeah,
if you want to find the right car.
So as everyone knows that's watching any of our previous videos, the Lupo's now sold. So what made you do it? What made you sell the Lupo? Because I know you love that car.
I do.
And I loved it because it was.
The main reason really was just the amount of miles I do now. I've left university and I now have a full-time job, which means I do about 150 miles a week commuting. And I know some of you are probably going to comment and say, well, why have you bought a 3-litre straight six? But the reason for selling the Lupo was just because obviously it was a very rare model, and if I'd have kept it for another year, the mileage would have been close to 80,000, and then it becomes a lot less attractive to people when I come to sell it on. At the mileage it's at now, it's just at that point where people will still buy it as an investment and think that they can make money on it if they keep hold of it for a good few years and don't use it too much. So that's the reason why the Lupo went. But you know, no issues with the car at all. There wasn't any mechanical issues or any other reason other than because I do so many miles now. So I wanted to just get something that's lower mileage and sell the Lupo for a good price. And I think the guy who looks like he's going to buy it is an enthusiast and has owned Lupo GTIs before. So I fully expect that it will be completely looked after in the same way that I've looked after it. So that's really great.
Obviously, I'll mention in the next video if it has obviously sold. Hopefully, it will do.
Yeah.
But now we're just going to get on the Strimes road, which I've featured in one of my favourite driving roads. We're just going to get on that road now. So just listen to get the bit down a little bit. There's the glorious straight six on the song there. So yeah, it really it's so smooth as well, power delivery in this.
Yeah, I mean honestly,
smooth.
And I mean most engines these days are 4-cylinder, and to me it's an absolute crying shame because you're never going to get the noise or the smoothness of a 6-cylinder from a 4-cylinder. It's just not possible. So I know obviously most manufacturers these days are more about emissions and fuel economy, but I mean, BMW don't actually make any naturally aspirated straight sixes anymore in any of their models, which is a real shame. So you know, this car is kind of the last of a breed.
I mean, was this even the last one they made?
No, I don't think it was. I think they did make some more Z4s, I think, possibly with
Yes,
naturally aspirated version of this engine.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's one of the last, and they certainly won't make any like this again, I don't think.
No, it is. It's and like you said, we mentioned before, you get that sound lower down.
Yeah, that's the great thing.
That's
about
the great thing. You don't have to rev this engine out to get that glorious sound. You know.
I've always wanted to own a car where you can literally just drive around town normally without even going quickly and just enjoy the sound. And in this car, you can do that because it sounds great at low revs, which is the beauty of it.
And like I mentioned, though, this road is a good road. This as well, isn't it? To just sound glorious. No turbo, no 4-cylinder. You'll not sound any better than that. I'll put the specs of the car just below. So obviously, I know you've only just got this car and you plan on keeping it for a long time. But what have you got any future plans? Or I know you only had it a week.
Well, a lot of owners do make a few modifications to them. Now, the main thing that's putting me off doing that is the expense of it. But there's a company called Birds which do they do a limited slip differential, which this car doesn't have. So you can have that fitted. They also do. There's the BMW Performance exhaust, which enhances the noise further, which is probably the first thing on my list, really, because although it does sound fantastic now,
you've heard the
reviews of the Performance exhaust are pretty much universally fantastic. So I may well consider having that fitted. And then there's also, you can have Bilstein suspension on there, which makes the handling slightly better. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to do that because I'm actually quite impressed with how good the ride is. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is, considering it's on 18-inch wheels. But it is pretty good, so I probably won't go for that. But I certainly think everybody always wants more noise, don't they, from an engine? So I think the Performance exhaust might well save up one of those in the future. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying the car as it is.
I've got to get used to it a bit more.
It is completely standard at the moment.
So there we have it then. His new BMW 130i. So thanks again for taking me out in that, because it really is a nice. I mean, that's the first time I've been in it, and it's very nice. Looking forward to many more adventures in that car as well. So as ever, might be some more videos coming with this car in the future. Not sure when, because we're timing and stuff. But yeah, as ever, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and there'll be, like I said, plenty more videos coming with mine and your car and whatever. So cheers.